Hello and welcome. It is Sunday, it is afternoon, and Catticus has already had his gushy food, so I don't know what he's talking about. I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood, and today I have Sako Tumi and Coleman with me. Say hello to the nice people.
Hello to the nice
Hello,
people.
nice people.
So, um, yeah, I started to make progress on my story again.
Yay!
Oh,
So I was sick for a week and took the week off. So that definitely put back my goal target word count for the month. It didn't help that I didn't know where the story was going from where I was at, and I was kind of stuck. But being brain dead didn't help. So I took a week off, which lost all my momentum, and then I didn't know where to go from there. So I changed one of the characters' backstories. So I was filtering my way through updating that and rereading what I had and seeing how many threads I dropped and stuff. So at least I know what he's doing next, which is not escaping from the basement. So
we shall not escape from the basement. Oh.
yeah. So anyway, that's where I'm at. So what are y'all working on this week?
Good question. I think I'm working on a couple of games that I'm going to be running and playing in.
Nice.
I want to break my hiatus of DMing in 2025. So
Nice.
I got some campaign planning to do.
Nice. Okay. Doc?
And I'm still editing. I have got 5 more chapters left to do. So little cheer from my peanut gallery here.
The end is nigh. The
Yeah.
end is nigh. Do you give peanuts to the peanut gallery, or do you give like peanut butter things
She
like
tends to
Reese's
buy cashews
Pieces?
on my card. So
Okay. Legit. So,
she likes cashews.
I did want to update y'all on my New Year's resolution of reading fewer books in 2025 than I did in 2024. So far, it is going horribly.
Oh.
Okay. So obviously you have not currently surpassed last year's numbers. So at the rate you've been reading, you're projecting out and saying, this is not looking good.
In my defense, I had like 3 or 4 days off sick home. And I started off reading a novella series.
Mm-hmm.
So it inflated the numbers, but it's not looking good.
Because they're short books, so they bang, bang, bang.
Well, after the first trilogy or 5 books or whatever, I found the compilations that had like 3 to 5 in them. So that helped because that was at a better. But yeah, it's over 50. So
I need to corner you about some recommendations that would work for me.
Sure.
Not now, of course. Maybe when we're off the air. But
that's a different show.
Yes.
So I have to go light on snacks because A, I snacked like a boss an hour ago, and B, I have plans with a friend, not friends with a plan. Although maybe the same thing. Anyway, I'm on the Northern Virginia. At one point, the Northern Virginia new restaurants in your area, featured restaurants in your area, came up with a new sushi restaurant with like I've never been to one of the ones with like the track that goes around.
The conveyor belt, yeah.
Yeah. So a new one opened up and it looked amazing. And a friend of mine and I were like, I sent the link to him and he's like, when are we going? And I'm like, so
soon.
So we're going after this stream. So the stream is not going late. I have plans with sushi. There are going to be a lot of no eel shall live tonight or something. Catticus, stop pushing my monitor. Hi, baby.
But he loves the monitor.
No, he loves attention, and he's nuzzling it to get my attention. So, next Sunday, the tree should be coming down because Puppy Bowl. So, which I thought was this week, and I was wrong because it's very often the first weekend of February. So like, looking back at my on this day said that the puppy bowl has been today in years past, but someone else was like, we got a week, what are you talking about? I'm like, what oh, my bad. So let me pop in the comments. Andy's back. Hey, welcome back. Although I think he did make it back last week as well. Amanda's here. Hello. Cora is here. I'm sorry, my monitor is just gonna keep because my cat is nuzzling like a boss.
Cat quake.
Cora's here. Hello, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Sarah's almost done uploading the video and then has to clean up some stuff. Nice. Cora is also at. What are you doing, Gat? He already got his gushy food. I don't know what he's doing right now. Laura is here. Hello, Laura. We've got Book Buyer. Hey. Oh my gosh, Laura just made a pan of brownies, but like, there's no brownies in my house.
Also, weren't you having French toast? Did you decide to have French toast and also bake brownies?
Unclear.
The populace would like to know.
Right? Important thing.
What are brownies a bad thing?
I mean,
to the non-celiac.
Unclear. So Amanda is, yay, making some story or progress with her story and is about to introduce the main love interest. Yay.
Woo.
Andy agrees. Sushi calls. Oh no, Sarah's computer is being weird. Oh my god, do not. Why? What is. I'm sorry, my cat is losing his ever-loving mind. He never nuzzles my monitor. But like,
it is the cat videographer.
Hi. My roommate's out of town until halfway through the stream, so he just hasn't had enough attention this weekend.
Okay.
So, which is why I gave him gushy food early. I was trying to be good to him. A slow blinks of love. Okay. Nikki's here. Hello and welcome. And Andy, got his writing done yesterday. So today is more editing. Yeah, I get that. So
that's fair.
Oh my gosh. Cat, you are very handsome. But like, maybe don't. No. You're just going to keep having earthquakes from my cat today, apparently. I mean, at least he's not trying to eat my head.
At least he's not trying to eat your head.
So,
or claw you to death.
Right? Yeah. So, it sounds like everybody's got, something to work on, something they are ready for. So what do y'all say about a sprint?
That sounds great. I think this is a great time for a sprint.
Excellent. Let's
Especially
go
when
ahead.
I've got groceries arriving in 4 minutes. So.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go with no music today unless there are requests. But otherwise, I'll be listening to copyright stuff on my own headset. So
you can listen to your own copyright stuff off stream.
Yeah. So let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom chakalaka. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Catticus, you are a sweetie. And we're back. How was your sprint?
It was good.
Yay.
I got 3 ideas down for things that can happen during the night.
Sure.
And I think that I'll flesh out the possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that'll do that next sprint, is fleshing them out.
Nice. That sounds pretty cool. Zach?
My groceries were delivered and they got brought in and put away, and I reviewed 2 paragraphs and looked at 2 comments from my editor, one of which said, "Oh, you have summed up unimportant stuff, expanded in great detail."
No. What kind of story do they expect you to be writing?
Remember, Doc's editor only wants extra details on things that aren't important and wants him to cut out the things that are.
Apparently.
Yeah.
We've noticed this trend.
And part of it is, it's like, I put the detail according to what is interesting and unusual for the narrator, who is a minor lord, but he's grown up with nobility and knows about the things like that. And I think what this is like, okay, we're at a big ball, so she wants the description of the pageantry and the beauty of it, and it's like, he's been to a dozen of these things and he's not really interested in it.
Maybe you could drop a line like, the women were wearing really froofy dresses this year, or just some dismissive thought like, wow, is that the color palette? My eyes bleed. Just something to acknowledge that he's noticing them, but doesn't give a bleep.
I mean, the people who are important, I spent time to describe what their outfits looked like. But it's like everybody else is like, oh, look, we've got military in their dress reds. We've got Europeans in black suits, and then we've got the native Indians who are in all variety of colors. And it's like that the most notable thing is the vast array of colors that the Indian men are wearing.
Sure.
because
the European ones are not in color in that era. Starting about that era, right? Isn't Victoria when men's fanciness started downplaying significantly?
Edwardian.
2 things that came into play here. One was Beau Brummel, who basically said, I can't afford fancy things, so everyone should dress drab and unnoticeable, and you should be noticed by how you wear the clothing instead of the clothing itself. The other thing is that when Victoria's husband died, she went into mourning, and the
for
entire
50 years,
and the entire empire went with her.
Yeah. So I spent that
before he died. They were very colorful people.
Okay. And I mean, she had 12 kids?
Something like that. I'd have to look up the number.
So Catticus wanted a lot of attention and playtime. And I
As
started,
always.
right? I started measuring things out. I'm contemplating separating my workspace from my personal laptop space rather than just rotating my chair.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think of ways to improve my daytime productivity and stuff. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if it'll help, but maybe when the tree goes down, I might put my desk,
your work
laptop
desk
over there. No, my personal laptop desk over there.
Mm-hmm.
This one has the view out the window and the more daytime light, and I will be writing at night.
Yeah.
So does that mean if your personal laptop goes over there that you'll be streaming from that corner looking back at the kitchen?
No, I would probably look into the room. So I watch a lot of Dear Modern, which talks about the feng shui of a room and the command position. And a lot of feng shui is not like it might have some superstition in there, but it's also, if things are behind you moving, it makes you anxious because you don't know what's happening behind you. So you can't really, so it would probably be facing this way. So you'd be looking at my to read bookcase behind me.
Right.
And I could see into the room and there, and you won't have my roommates walking directly behind me. So they're not going to be on screen without,
right.
Because that's not, if they wanted to be on, if they wanted to stream with me, they would.
Yeah.
But, my roommate has a 10-year-old, and, there's the whole age consent, and, he just wants to play Minecraft and Among Us and watch YouTube, film theory, game theory videos. That's what he wants to do. And cat videos. Cool. We are trying to teach him that the internet's for cats. So
cool.
Cats. He's 10 people. So I did that for part of my sprint, and also Patrick, who he's been working on an agent database, and I've been supporting that a little bit. He's the guy who I do query rewrites with. He asked me to look into publishing company, and Moonquill Publishing. They seem to make like graphic novels out of people's books and stuff, and it looked really cool. And they work with a lot of indie authors, which, they're like, we're definitely not a vanity press. We definitely, consider you don't have to use our editor, but if it's not up to our standards, we'll make you. You can get your own cover artist. Your royalties will be 40 to 60%. Their stuff doesn't look bad, but I saw a little note on Writers Beware that suggested they might not be the best, and so
I see.
So it's so definitely do your research and know what you're getting into. And one person's like, oh, they're not really responsive, and the editor thinks they know best, and some of that can be sour grapes, and some of that, in the writing industry, there's a lot of egos to deal with, but do your research and check that out. So I was looking into that because I was asked. What else? It wasn't so let me pop into the comments. So yes, Laura got called into the kitchen to help and did have French toast for breakfast. The brownies are to take to an old couple. They're making dinner for people. And they're having taco salad and fruit salad. Oh my God.
Yep.
Have I talked about my taco salad addiction?
No, don't think you have.
In college, I ate it twice a day in the fried shells. And the first time I ever had sour cream was because they thought I was my sister, and my sister had sour cream in hers. Identical twins at the same college. But my sister was relieved she never had to ask for extra tomatoes because they already knew. By senior year, I was only having them 3 times a week instead of daily. But it's got carbs because it's got the shell, it's got protein, it's got salad in there. It's a very balanced meal. Yep. It's got cheese and dairy. It's got, all the different food groups.
And if you're actually trying to cut carbs and lose weight, just don't eat the shell, or eat as little as you can get away with.
No, the shell is my favorite part. Otherwise, you might as well just get a taco salad in a bowl, which is an option.
Not you, but other people who are actually trying to lose weight.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. So anyway, I am a recovering taco salad addict.
Taco salad is good food.
Which is why Qdoba often beats out Chipotle in my scale, because Qdoba has those. And I'm hit or miss for cilantro. I don't care. My sister dislikes it, but we don't have the soap gene.
Okay.
So
I've not eaten at a Qdoba in so long. It's like I remember good, but I've forgotten what's good there. So.
They're perfectly fine. It's Tex-Mex for like Americans. It's fine.
It's fine. And I can't remember what I was going to say. It's all
okay.
Sorry. Well, Next let me pop into the comments. Oh, I stopped it just before the chime. So Laura's also taking the neighbors' lemonade, or the elderly people lemonade from the lemons picked off their tree.
A lovely person.
Ashling is here. Hello, doing some admin and writing. Yay, mint. Cora says 24 minutes left to edit out of 27 minutes. So got 3 minutes done. Nice. Oh, Cora's legs are now aching and is trying to write because they started a walking challenge for the American Cancer Society. Okay.
Yeah, I missed a couple of days work because my knees were aching in the morning.
That's not cool. You got to go in now?
Yeah, I telework is a thing of the past. But yeah, I got to go back in tomorrow.
Sure. I get that. Andy said hi to my kitty and got about 300 words or so edited / rewritten. There's a lot of rewriting going on. Sarah said no cleaning happened. She's having a grumpy day, so she grumped instead. Legit.
That's fair.
Thank you, Amanda. Fist bumps of solidarity. A good taco salad is, in fact, top tier. Sarah doesn't like the shell. I mean, I don't like beans. And like when you put the refried beans, like especially in the bottom, it gets super soggy. So like for a consistency thing, I'm right out.
That may depend on the consistency of the beans when they went in, but I can see that. Yeah, and since you definitely like the shell, I would order without beans. But
yeah, I do. In fact, like I've started at Chipotle getting the bowl because I don't want the rice or the beans, and I want double helpings of all the salsa, which is just a little too soggy for a burrito.
See, at Chipotle, I usually get the salad, but
right, that's what I said. But I don't want like the salad lettuce. I want the shredded lettuce.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm very picky. It's much easier to. Yeah.
I also haven't been to a Chipotle in a while, and the one I went to only had one style of lettuce. So,
like for the burritos and stuff, they have the shredded lettuce, but if you order the salad, sometimes they give you like the leafier stuff,
the chopped green type lettuce.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like romaine or whatever's cheap, and they have in the back, and it's very salady. And I'm like, no, give me the shredded stuff.
This may be a regional difference between Virginia and Maryland.
Could be. Or it could just be your local one does it one way,
Or it could be time. Because I think the last time I went to a Chipotle was in the before times. So
right. Yeah. So Sarah has the soap gene and still likes it. And her whole family is like that. Nom nom soap.
More power.
Have you ever gotten a gift where you're 90% sure it's soap, but it might be chocolate?
It's pretty. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I had friends who were willing to do the bite test for me.
Oh.
They regretted it.
It was always soap, huh?
Oh, Chenault. Okay. Andy says, yeah, his Fed friends are in the same boat. One has to drive from DC to Quantico daily now. Yeah.
No, gross.
Yeah. My roommates, the kid's father is in the same boat. And so we might have the kid full time in the summer, depending on babysitting and childcare issues. So
yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Cora replaced the taco shell with Doritos, and it was fire.
Yeah,
I mean, we've talked about my pickiness before. I also like my nachos with the chips on the side, so that way you can get.
That's normally called a dip.
I know, but like, no, it's still nachos if the cheese is melty, right?
Yeah, if it's got all the ingredients, whether it's all pre-assembled and then you pick it apart, or if you assemble each chip by itself, it's still nachos.
That way, like each chip has this even amount and doesn't get soggy for sitting there. It's a whole thing. I have issues.
I will not nacho shame you for this.
Thank you.
Just I appreciate it for its differentness.
So okay, Nikki is doing some outlining. Mint's husband also has to start working in the office full time around March. Yeah. So it might change, it might not. We'll see what actually sticks after the first 90 days when they try to be like, look how much we've done in the first. Like there's a huge emphasis, I think, for different whenever a new party's coming in to make a lot of changes in the first
Huge
3 months.
on the first 100 days.
That one. I knew it was about 3 months that they're really doing the push. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if some stuff got walked back, and I'm knocking on wood that it does.
Well, some of the stuff is not being done properly and legally, so
a lot of it isn't. But anyway, we're not a political show.
Yeah, we're not a political show.
I'm gonna do some writing before sushi time. So let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, boom chaka laka laka. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Catticus, you're gonna let me write this time, aren't you? Aren't you? You're so handsome. What's up, baby? What do you need? What do you need, my love? I know, baby. I know you're so handsome. You don't get more treats, though. You don't need more treats, my love. Is this yours? Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. No? Okay. I know what you want, but I'm not going to give it to you. So maybe let's go with a little food tub. Well, I guess there's no audio on my new timer. I clearly have to do some work on this.
Oh.
I like the look of the new timer.
I like the look of the new timer, but
yeah, the lack of an audio.
I said an audio, so I'm very confused what's going on here. So anyway, there you go.
Okay, it says ringy dingy.
Yeah, it says ringy dingy.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with that. My cat wanted some attention. I played with a timer. I read some notifications on Facebook and Discord. I shared a link about how the Authors Guild is now offering a certification for human-written novels.
Ooh.
So I thought that was kind of cool.
As in they're certifying the novel as human-written?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That does sound interesting.
Yeah. So I was hoping for a secondary market for stuff that is maybe less than human authored, but if one has a cert and one doesn't, maybe that's a direction to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, how was your sprint?
Good. I did exactly what I set out to do. And I'm at that point where I don't want to plan too much.
Sure.
But it's the starting point for a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And it could explode into a campaign if they decide that it's fun.
Sure.
So, and I opened up my snacks.
Yay.
Which today is Fritos barbecue chips.
Yay.
So, because that's a flavor I haven't seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had the thought about the fact that I'm talking about my characters at the ball, and to the narrator, it's all very much, I've seen this before, and just realized then that he's with Tinka. Tinka has not seen this before. So she's going to be excited about stuff. And it's like, okay, I can write about his impression of what she's excited about.
Sure.
So I wrote a couple paragraphs that should make my editor more happy. And what did I get? I got almost 200 words, because part of that was figuring out where it fits in with everything else. But
right.
Sure. So cool.
And we go to the comments.
Yeah, and we go to the comments.
Where were we in the comments?
Miss Tree showed up and said hi and waved at us, and we waved back. Andy said, the delicate sound of cat distracting, to which I replied, oh, bleep, let me turn off my sound. Or my microphone.
Yeah.
I'm glad I could make Sarah laugh. Sako is, you can read your own comment.
Enjoying my chewy cookies. My chewy chocolate chip cookies.
Nice. I let everybody know I was playing with the new timer. Clearly, I gotta finagle it a little more, so I might do that on the next sprint. I will get some words in before the end of the hour, though. I promise. I might also wind my clock, like literally the clock on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's been sitting at 3 for like a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Because it goes forward much easier than it goes backwards. And last time I went forward more than 4 hours, I accidentally bent the arm and it got stuck. And I thought my clock was broken. So I tried to restart it within 2 hours of when it stopped. And I'm ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
So remembering between the hours of 3 and 5. So anyway, Sarah's a fan of playing with new things.
Mm-hmm.
Cora is 7 minutes in to her 27 minutes of video editing. I shared the Authors Guild Human Authored Certification link. Andy did not get much done because a work colleague buzzed him. Silly day jobs. Sarah did some promo crap and ate some candy. Oh, I got a YouTube notification that Sarah posted a thing.
Oh, really? I bet you I did too.
Sarah's current stream snacks are Twix and a huge cookie and cookies and cream bar. Ooh, nice. Hello, Patrick. Good to see you. I was telling everybody about the very questionable publisher that you asked me to look into.
You mentioned his name and he appeared.
I mean, as is tradition.
Say his name and he appears. We believe in Patrick Hopkins.
Oh, I don't actually know that song.
Oh, it's a wrestling reference.
Okay, that makes sense. So, Amanda got 400 words in. Nice. And thinks the flow may have taken the wheel a little and made decisions about the love interest's backstory. Is it tragic? Is it sweet? What are we doing? So, ooh. Patrick says the publisher does not list any staff, including editors, which is rarely a good thing.
Yeah.
So, in other industry news, the local, not quite nanite group was sharing a link from Publishers Weekly about Simon Schuster, flagship imprint, is stopping blurbs. I believe they're talking about the blurbs you get from other people, not back copy in general.
Okay.
So let me drop that link too.
Yeah, please do.
So, industry news all over the place today.
Mm-hmm.
Cora's with you. Cora knows that song. We believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
So, and Moon's not here. I knew Moon.
And Moon's not here. Moon taught it to me.
Shocked face. Shocked. So, yeah. Amanda said that the love interest's backstory is a little tragic, but it's got some silver linings. So that's nice. So, and here's the link, Publishers Weekly. But it's recent, so you can probably find it on the website easily too. So I know YouTube and Twitch don't always make link clicking in the comments easy.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Oh my God, it's a yawn. Do we want to do a quick stretch break?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Ooh, that popped.
I wish things would pop.
Oh, that's the worst, when they almost do and then they don't.
Yeah. Crackle, but not the pop.
I mean, I've been saying since I was 4 years old that I'm Rice Krispies and milk. And I don't even eat cereal with milk. I eat dry cereal.
And that's definitely my niece in the morning.
I was the 4-year-old in ballet class with popping knees. Like, yeah. Hi. People can say all they want about, cracking joints, just sets you up. No. People, I think they're getting cause and effect wrong. It's not the making them pop that degrades them. It's the they will pop and therefore they're degrading. It's So we already know that my ribs think they're joints. None of my joints want to stay in place. Oh my God. Can we just not, so I can get work done?
Meow. Meow.
I know. The roommate came home and immediately closed the sunroom door in his face. Face.
Oh, that cute face.
How could you not want to be eaten alive by this fierce kitty? He's the fiercest of the kitty kin. He might defeat the dinosaur once and for all. Once and for all. I will be very sad when he defeats the dinosaur once and for all, because I don't know where to get another one of these, because I think IKEA stopped, selling them sometime in the last 14 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And last time I tried to get a hand puppet, the belly part didn't go past my wrist, which is really the biggest selling point for me with this guy.
That's the part that needs the armor from the raking.
Right. So, okay. Well, let's go ahead and do another sprint. And hopefully this one will let me get some words in. I know. I love you too. But Mama has stuff to do other than pay attention to you. I know, it's very silly. So, okay. Let me go ahead and reset this timer and figure out what's up with the audio. So I'll be playing with that. So I'm not going to start the timer, but know that the timer is reset. And let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom chakalaka laka. And we're back. No clue why there's no noise. I will sort that out later. So, how was your sprint?
I spent it watching Sarah's video.
Awesome.
And getting a fresh drink and kind of getting comfy while getting reacquainted with Sarah and her week. Yeah, that was my sprint. Nice. I'm 11 minutes in to her video.
Okay, cool. Doc?
I wrote about another 150 words, adding description of Tinka's impressions of everyone in their various finery, and started to move on to the next note. So
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I played a little bit with the timer. I played a little bit with my kitty. I read some notifications, and then I looked at my manuscript and added like one sentence, and I'm trying to figure out the motivation of the sire and exactly what he wants. And I have to know that before I'm like, I know they're going to attack the door, but like, who's going with them? Is it the bad guys or the good guys trying to rescue the good guys? I don't know. So I got to figure that out.
I did notice you do this number. It was that.
It's my thinky face.
It is your thinky face, and I love it. It is a brilliant thinky face.
I mean, I'm glad that my instinctive thinky face is very, not not something that I'm ashamed of or embarrassed about.
Yeah.
Because some people have like some weird you always read about the tongue sticky out. I don't have a tongue sticky out thing.
I think I get.
I might bite my lips though.
I think I get very frowny when I'm like concentrating on the word.
You do.
I do the mouth.
Doc looks serious, but it depends on the scene that you're editing.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like if it's like a light scene, like you're kind of jovial with it, and then when it's a serious scene, you look real serious, and I like that about you being on camera.
Nice.
It's the quest for the word. Come on, find the right word.
I definitely do the twisty mouth, like it's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, let me pop into the comments. Patrick agrees. The disorder is the issue. That's why you can crack them. The cause and effect is backwards when they're like, "Don't crack your knuckles; it'll cause bad knuckles." No, they crack because they're bad. Okay. Amanda recognized my vicious baby. And Mint says that Catticus looks like their sister's old cat named Hilary Duff. He's a boy, but when she was young, she looked like him. I love his markings. He is so handsome. And he has like the most amazing cat liner I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, excellent cat liner.
So Sarah says, thanks for watching. Cora is down to only 17 minutes left to edit and is now off to get the baby. Snuggle the baby for us. Although that was like 5 minutes ago. So
yeah.
Andy rewrote another 600 words and now has to feed Tillis his wet food because he's doing the I'm starving yowl.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Amanda got a decent chunk down, about 600 words, mostly describing this peripheral character that has emerged as the backstory. Dun, dun, dun.
It's been a real productive stream, despite being a lazy Sunday afternoon.
I mean, for everybody but me.
Aw.
It's okay. Some days are more productive than others.
Hey, you wrote. You wrote a sentence, but you wrote.
That's a whole sentence. It was amazing. So, yeah.
Better a sentence than nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got about 10 minutes left. Do we want a short sprint? Do we want to just talk writing? What do you want?
Let's talk writing.
Okay.
Because there was all that news.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. So look, now that we're not sprinting, look who finally settled the bleep down.
Yeah.
I noticed him going back there.
As soon as we're like, no more sprints, he's like, oh yeah. My punk is a punkasar. It is known.
It is known.
Yep. And now my mandatory cat content has woken up. And
look at that old lady.
Who is a pretty girl? Who is a pretty girl?
She's a purr girl.
Purr.
She's a what? Aw, yeah. When Catticus is on my lap, he's a purr boy. But he needed his gushy food before he could settle on my lap, and he got his gushy food, and then I got on stream, and there's no lap, and life is horrible. Life is horrible. So
yeah, I think part of it is that she knows that that when I finish the stream, I have to go and give her gushy food. So she's reminding me that I have a cat that needs to be taken care of.
I mean, obviously,
and what better way to do that than to stand on my chest?
I mean, and stick her butt in your face, as is tradition. So, so what do y'all think about the human certification thing?
I think it's kind of silly that it's required at this point, that you have to get certified to put human made on your a human made sticker on your book.
That's not how I read it. I think I just read it as it's a bonus selling point of look, I didn't use AI. I don't know what the verification process is.
I don't see it as a requirement so much as so many people concerned about authors being put out of work by AI, especially people training AI up on another author's work and then publishing stuff as if it were from them when they didn't have any hand in it. And this, well, I'm still reserving judgment until I've had a chance to read the article and stuff.
Yeah.
This may be just one way of looking at it and saying, okay, we're gonna do this process to verify for the readers that yes, this story was handcrafted by an actual person who has put effort and labor into it. It was not just vomited out of a sentence generating machine and passed off as a story.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the what is the certificate page, and it says it's so that hopefully we can set up a verifiable chain of trust between author and reader with a public database of things that, and obviously using grammar check and spell check and other minor AI, using it for research or brainstorming doesn't disqualify as long as the text was human written. It's an easy yet robust process. You log into the portal, you submit the book details and verify the information. You sign the license agreement, agreeing to only use the mark as permitted, and then you get a unique numbered certification mark to use on promo and book covers and whatever. So it isn't about rejecting technology. It's about creating transparency and saying, hey, this is where it came from. You can still use it. But yeah, so obviously you need to be a guild member to get the guild certification, but it doesn't seem like a bad thing. And I'm okay with people saying, hey, yeah, I had AI assist. I would just want to know, transparency.
Yeah.
So And I'm gonna obviously prioritize stuff that isn't AI because I want to support writers, not farms of servers learning on people's words without their consent.
Indeed.
So,
or Simon and Schuster actually submitting books to feed into the AI cloud.
Yeah, that was a yikes.
Yeah.
Was it Simon and Schuster? I knew it was one of the big four.
Yeah, 2 of the big 4 did it actually.
Hate that.
Yeah.
So, popping into the comments, Amanda has been lazy the rest of the week and was stuck, so needed to sprint and get everything out. And Sarah says, the more I talk, quote unquote, to no one, the more the cats show up at her house.
Yeah.
I hear that. So, no, Catticus just knows when Mama turns on the video and starts talking that he gets his gushy food. So, luckily, he doesn't A, know his name, or B, the word gushy food, so I can say whatever I want in front of him.
Oh, okay.
I think I need to teach him he means to come to me, but like, did you see any movement behind me? No.
His head turned towards you. That was.
Yeah. I think it was already turned this way. So, like, my cat don't care. Because when he escaped in the snow at 1 a.m. and I was trying to find him.
Yeah, no.
So I think I need to like bribe him with treats to come when I call so he understands what calling means, because I never taught him that one because he's a cat and he shows up when he wants to.
I have discovered that Hushy likes to play fetch.
Ooh. Catticus
with his mouse
for like a week, and then he's like, no, I'd rather hide and pounce. You have to follow me, Mom. I'm not going to bring it to you. You have to go fetch it and then throw it again, and then I'll run after it.
Boo.
Right?
Yeah.
So, although I have learned, like, I have this feather on a stick thing with a little bell, and it's extendable and super long and amazing. And if I start to play with him with that, he's usually like, I don't want to play with that, but thanks for the effort, and wanders off because he's rejecting both me and the toy.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, no. You have chosen the wrong toy. You have ruined it. I'm done with you. I'm done with you.
I mean, he very, very often tells me I'm playing the wrong way or throwing the toy in the wrong direction. But sometimes it's just a matter of him wanting to make sure that I'm committed to the play. Like, if I throw a toy once or twice, he's like, are you really playing, or are you just trying to get me out of the way? But if I throw it another time, he might chase it and then be like, okay, Mom's committed to the game now. So I think some of it is just him not.
Yeah, Sarah just gets a face full of cat whenever she talks.
Yeah. Gosh. So, what are you writing right now? Are you still working on the Sapphic Sako?
Yeah.
Sako?
I know what you're working on.
Sapphic.
And Sako wasn't writing the stream, so.
No, I wasn't writing the stream, but I have to write the end.
Sure. And
I'm kind of loath to write the end because I've had so much fun with this story, like coming up with stuff.
Sure.
But I really want to write the epilogue, which is really sweet. And yeah.
You have mixed feelings about
I do. I very mixed. Like, I don't want the story to end yet. So maybe I will put off writing the final scene, like, until I do my revisions and stuff.
Okay, maybe.
I don't know. That's maybe I just have a different way of looking at it, but
the end is like a big deal for me.
okay. I don't want to try to take anything away from that, but it's the one thing I like about books and movies and stuff is like the story. The story is never really over. You can always go back and visit it, and it's still happening.
I know.
But
especially since I have like 30,000 extra words to write.
Yeah. It's kind of like, even if you know how it ends, it's still happening now.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend about world building, and I was like, world building never ends. Things are always adapting and changing and whatever. And they're like, until you stop writing or reading. I'm like, no, just because it's not observed doesn't mean that it's stagnant. It keeps going.
It keeps going. Yeah.
So,
that's fair.
Creators of worlds.
Right.
They live on without us.
Yeah. So okay, I've been stuck on my ending. How do you know which way to go? Like, I think
I picked the weirdest one.
Sure. I figure from stuck, I was going in the wrong direction. So I try to evaluate new directions and think about all the different characters' motivations and what they'll do. So, Doc, do you ever get stuck? Or do you already know the ending when you get started and you write toward it?
When I start on a book, I usually have an idea of how things are going to come together for the end.
Sure.
And that's usually, it's like, that's a point that is the climax, and then there's a denouement wrapping it up.
Sure.
But I've gotten a couple of comments about, why did you end it here? We want more. And it's like, that's what the next book is for. Now I'm writing a series.
Sure. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I don't know, but I have gotten so far into things and gotten stuck in places where it's like, I've gotten this far. I know I'm going there. I don't know how to bridge this gap.
Okay.
And sometimes the answer is to jump the gap. And
sure,
because it's like, maybe you can't bridge it because it's not interesting. And sometimes the answer is something bad needs to happen to make it interesting.
Sure.
Exactly. The way I look at it is whenever I get stuck, I think, what is the worst possible thing that can happen in this moment?
Sure. I tried to go in that direction and then I got stuck and I was like, okay, clearly that's not working for me. I need something else bad that could happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's fair. But then it's not the worst.
Yeah.
Because they can't react in a way that would move the story forward.
Part of it is I've got the 3 point of view characters and they all, have different backgrounds and, traumas that they're dealing with. And so like, each of them has their own person or people that they're pushing back against. And so how do I tie all of those, especially when all of them are in a conflict in the same place at the same time? And so it means I need to step back and think about the motivation of like my vampire sire and, my werewolf's ex-pack and my mage's aunt and uncle and, how that ties into local politics. And so it's complicated.
As
and
long as you're not going into tax evasion and school field trips, right?
I mean, oh right, I totally forgot my werewolf's ex is there too, and I realized he's not a bad guy, but he knows bad stuff is happening and he's trying to fix it. So how does he even play into the scene, and how is like
it sounds like you have a lot to think about in order to wrap up this story.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, and so I really have
the cool thing is that it turns out to be a series. You don't have to answer all of those questions at once.
Yeah. And I definitely have a couple threads that I don't want to address in this story that I want to leave for later stories. So, or at least leave the door open for other stories. I don't want to wrap everything up.
Right. Exactly.
Tie it off with a little bow. So,
see, that's what I do is I try to, and then I failed with Flambeau. Flambeau is getting a sequel.
Yeah. So I think I prefer this. My favorite series are the ones that the episodic adventure totally ties up in a nice little bow, but background stuff or like
the meta plot
advances, and like I can't even imagine the planning or the like. Do you just seed it with things that you think you can play with later? I think it depends on the author, obviously.
I do the meta plot first.
Sure.
And then I drop the characters in it.
I get really distracted. Like last year when I tried to do a suburban fantasy, I was really distracted by my meta plot and wanted to bring up things too soon, too fast, because I was more excited about the meta plot than the episodic plot. And so I didn't have a solid enough, compelling enough episodic plot. So that's where the story really fell down. So I think for me personally, leaving seeds and then figuring out after I know the shape of the first book, deciding what direction to really lean into might work better for me as an author. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But for me,
bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
I saw the silent sneeze.
Yes, knowing the fact that I'm writing a series,
yeah,
and that I'm also writing short stories to help fill in the gaps between the particular things in the series.
Sure.
And the fact that I've kind of run ahead and I've got ideas for like the next 6 books after the one I'm working on now.
Oh, wow.
And that's, I mean, some of it is a little bit easy. The fact that, pretty much every book is in a different location.
Yeah.
Until I get to book 8, because book 8, we're coming back to where we were in book 2. But
oh my gosh, wow. That's a big plan. That's a large chunk of your life.
Yeah.
But it's like things that involve the main character, the lives of the main characters. Those are going to be long arc things, which are going to go across books. Just about everything else that's dealing with local characters is all needs to all be wrapped up within the book. It just becomes a question of, is there anyone local who's going to show up somewhere else?
Okay.
And, part of the events in book 2 are reasons why we're coming back here in book 8. So
sure. That's tricky.
And it gets to be fun because it's like I get to like deal with, okay, the minor bad guy that gets away can then be the big bad guy in Nook.
Sure. Especially if they end up with allies and whatever. More weaponry and bigger something airships like and whatever. So, or like your main character and his friends piss off more people and therefore they end up with, well, I don't like you, but I really don't like that jerk face.
Yeah.
So, let me pop into the comments. Hello, JM. And multiple point of views would definitely make it harder. Yeah. Who's like, do you break? We already had a broken leg. That was the cute meat.
Don't break everybody's legs at the same time unless you really want them to meet in an emergency room.
Our mage coffee barista got hit by a car and the vampire caught him before he hit the pavement. So he broke his leg and got banged up, but at least he didn't like hit his head and everything. Anyway, it was part of the cute meat.
Oh,
my poor mage.
I look forward to reading it.
When it's no longer a hot mess, I'll let you. So
does
we're
this
at time
mean
though.
that the story
Yeah, we
takes
are.
place over a large chunk of time, or that you have rapid healing?
We have rapid healing.
There
like,
we go.
part of the thing, like, he has magic. He thought he was just a spark, but he actually has mage potential, and he didn't know it. And anyway, so when he goes to the urgent care, he's like, hey, you can take some of my magic and like use it to help heal me faster or whatever. And so he's like, wait, donating magic doesn't have to hurt? What the bleep has my uncle been doing for the last decade? And that's a rabbit hole of jerk face.
Yeah.
So
rabbit hole of jerk face.
Yeah.
Jerk face rabbit hole.
Yeah. So anyway, my poor mage. I adore him. He's a sweetie. So okay, we are gonna peace out because I have sushi plans.
Yep. Okay.
Who are you and where can they find
you? Oh
you?
yeah, that's right. Howdy folks, I'm Sako Tumi, also known as Voit. I am a writer of Flash, and not that kind of Flash, not that kind of stream.
I was thinking Flash Gordon, but
you can Google me at Sako Tumi or Voit, or Sako. You will find all of my things, my websites, my social medias, all my art, all the things. Blue Sky, I'm spending a lot of time there. So as Sako Tumi. So please be dropping by. I would love to see you guys.
And I am Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure and apparently a little bit of horror. Because we just had a review of the latest short story that I did for an assembly of monsters, and one of the comments was it was a proper horror story, and it's like,
oh
yeah, it was. The
I mean, as I said, when I write shorts, they're much more likely to be horror than when I write a novel.
I've done some shorts which are downright horrific, and I've done some which were a full-on comedy. But anyway, if you're interested in finding out more about me and my writing, just go to your favorite search engine and search for Doc Coleman Steampunk, and that will help you find my website at doccoleman.com. It will also help you find my Amazon author page, where you can see samples of all the various works that I've got in print. And if you want to go and see me in person, then I am going to be at the Telltale Steampunk Festival in Baltimore at the end of March. So you've still got time to get your tickets and get yourself registered.
Okay.
But I'm going to have myself an author table there, and I'm going to be selling books.
Woo!
Yay! And I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I have a blog, and a podcast with 10 years worth of content, blogging about writing tips from the pros, and of course my own Writerly Musings. I've been mostly on hiatus because my executive function is totally broke. Do have a new therapist lined up. I will be meeting them a week from tomorrow because my psychologist is tomorrow, and as my homework I said I would set up a meeting with a new therapist, and so at Friday at 4:05 p.m. I called and got an appointment set up and filled out all the paperwork before 5 p.m. on Friday.
That's a trip.
So, I mean, if there weren't a minute like a last minute, ain't no minute like the last minute, because the last minute is the only time things get done.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway.
No like the last minute, like no minute, I know.
So, yeah, and we're here pretty much every Sunday, eating snacks and sometimes being productive and sometimes reading. So you can find me everywhere as Morgan Hazelwood, except at Twitter. And I'm trying to be a little more active on the Blue Skies threads, whatever. Although Threads is very inconsistent about when it copies over from my Facebook and when it doesn't. It might be related to if I'm using my phone or my PC, but I'm not 100% sure right now. Because I might have said yes on one. I don't know. I need to figure out what's going on because I've double posted or not posted, a couple times. So I need to sort out what's going on with that. So
I need to be more deliberately active about posting on Blue Sky, so it's not just going live announcements for streams I'm doing.
Yeah. Sure. Being active on Blue Sky as opposed to just having a Blue Sky. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Last night I was talking about comparing the word authenticity to frequency because I was sleepy and could not find the word, but
Oh, consistency. Yeah. I can see how you would say frequency instead.
I said authenticity.
Not authenticity, but authenticity.
That's adorable.
I mean, if you can understand what it means, it's a word because that's how language works.
Yep.
Yes.
If you make sounds to communicate and someone knows what you meant.
Because that's
the German way of thinking of things. If you can't think of the word for something, you just take the words that describe that thing and smash them together.
I am never going to live down the time I was traveling overseas and other languages were in my head and I lost my words and I said fish zoo.
Fish
for an
zoo.
Aquarium?
Oh, fish zoo.
But it makes sense, right?
Right?
Technically works.
That's how language works. If you understand it, it's a word.
Yep.
So if someone understands it, it's a word.
If someone understands it. Yeah.
Because there's plenty of other languages I don't understand. And there's plenty of, pidgin languages. And slang and whatever that I don't know. So bird is the word, right?
Yep.
So yay. Okay, I'm off to sushi. Have fun, eat snacks, catch you later. Bye.
All right, bye.